recently a lot of people were telling me to binge watch, we will rewatch Jujutsu Kaisen because I guess I gave it a bad shot or whatever. I wanted to give it a fair chance. I only seen the first time I watched it. I only seen up to uh, where they met the panda dude and the brolic dude.
Oh
So,
yeah, Panda, and Toto. I believe yeah. I know what you're talking
when
about.
he was like, "What type of girls you like?" You know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I rewatched it, and I wanted to get your take on it. What did you think about Jujutsu? You know, and the hype, like the hype behind. You believe the hype behind it and all that other shit. You know.
I do. I don't believe in the hype on it because I feel like when I think of anime, I think about a lot of the old shows I used to watch that gave me so much joy. But I would say it's a really good show. I would say it's getting up there. I think my thought process has changed though because I read the manga, which is kind of. I feel like when I think of the anime, I'm also thinking about the manga, which is probably ruining. I'm kind of being kind of biased about it, but the reason why I do think it's a good show, I would say that you are interested in, not in the main character in the beginning. You're interested in the characters around them, like Fushiguro, and Gojo, and you would want to know about
What's the girl's name?
Nanami. That's Nobara Kusugiri. I don't think she's interesting at all, to be honest. But I don't know if that's because I feel like they always do the female characters dirty in anime for some reason.
Except for Nami, right?
Except for who?
Nami.
Nami? Oh yeah, they did Nami good. Yeah, you're right. They did Nami good.
But yeah, continue.
So I'm trying to think of what the anime just showed. You know what I mean? Because I want to be like
So we'll just talk the first season, I guess. You
the
know what I
first
mean?
season. Okay.
So it ended with they were fighting the dude who didn't want him to look at his back and shit.
Oh yeah, the demon. I don't know his name.
I think the big reveal at the end, like him and Sukuna starts talking or some shit, like some I don't know.
Sukuna and him made a deal.
Deal, yeah, and doesn't remember the deal and shit. Yeah.
Was that the last episode?
That wasn't the most recent. Like that was like the ender. Like that was when those three niggas attacked while they were training or whatever. Doing.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, when they were fighting the demon.
The girl with the arm.
Yeah. So I would say that with the first season, the reason why I enjoyed it is because we're introduced to a new exciting anime. I would say the plot's not there yet in the first season. You don't really know what's kind of going on, but they'll give you like bits of like Fushiguro being just like kind of like your Sasuke Uchiha. He has like a terrible family background. They don't really touch on it too much, but they kind of give you like like how like Sasuke had that moment of I just want to kill certain somebody. Fushiguro kind of gave off a vibe like basically like I don't really have a family and I don't fuck with them niggas kind of vibe, but like
with his family.
What is not what it's like family, but like the
who did he say he didn't fuck with?
So he said he didn't fuck. I believe he said he didn't fuck. No, I'm thinking of Maki. Maki was the one that said that. I'm sorry. Maki was the one that said she didn't fuck with. I'm jumping ahead again. You see, that's the thing I do when I. Maki said she didn't fuck with the Zane family, and that's like a famous Jujutsu sorcerer family, and she's an interesting character. Fushiguro is. Maki's the girl with the sword. The girl with the sword with the glasses.
Oh.
The green hair.
She has the sister with the 45 cal.
Yeah, with the blicky. With the blicky. So Fushiguro is actually still remains a mystery. So I would say
So you would kind of exclude him then, right?
Yeah. I have to exclude him,
and then exclude the girl too because. right?
Yeah. You're right. So I would say that the animation.
Gojo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gojo, and not even Gojo that much, to be honest, if you really think about it. So the show doesn't really do too much explaining. Yo, the show doesn't really do too much explaining on what's going on, but I think the reason why the manga is so good is because I think manga pacing is way more faster than animation pacing. Um, so what I could say is the highlight of the show is basically essentially the animation, and then the premise of the story, like what's going on. Like, so there's a group of curse demons out there that have an objective that we don't know about yet, and it's supposed to be a mystery, of course, because Clay didn't explain enough. They were just kind of, I think with this season they were just kind of trying to show off the characters in terms of like how flashy they can be, how unique and cool the design can look while they're fighting.
I had a question. Did they explain why? Like, cause I know like the demons they're created by like manifesting it type shit. Did they ever explain why some of them are humans and some of them are not? Well, not humans, but some of them look human and some of them don't.
So when certain cursed spirit, I think they do explain that when certain cursed spirits reach a certain level, they obtain like more of a consciousness and intelligence in order to communicate with people and stuff like that.
I meant like physically, cause like that nigga, the nigga with the hands, fake ass sugar.
The guy with the like patch face.
Fake ass,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, how? Yeah. So they didn't explain it in the first season of why he.
But they do explain it, I guess.
Yeah, they do explain it. I mean, he's a special grade. If you're a special grade curse, you have the ability of speech. You know what I mean? You can talk and you can communicate. The reason why he looks like more of a human, I think it has to do with his abilities.
What about does Sukuna actually look like that or no?
Sukuna, yeah, he actually looks like that. I have.
He actually looks like. I'm talking about like he actually looks like the main
Yuji?
character. Like,
yo, that I've been questioning that the whole time I've been reading, because like every time when they show him, they show his face. You know what I mean? They keep
looking like that. Like
yeah. They don't ever show like his real like identity.
Nah, it is a question. I just want to know.
I hope he doesn't really look like that. I'd be like weird. It's like,
I mean, we're just supposed to believe it. You know, we're just supposed to rock with it. But yeah. What's it called? Yeah. Anything else you wanted to drop about it? Like, you know.
So I would have to say that
I think it's so top tier compared to other animes.
I think I'm saying that because of the manga. That's why. To be honest, the only thing that's good about it is basically the animation. The plot's not far enough for me to make that claim, but I definitely think season 2 is gonna touch on more of the things that we need from the show, because this season was obviously like, okay, they introduced Yuji, and he just found out about the Jujutsu world, and then he actually just fought he's actually fighting like low level cursed spirits, and then it's kind of like Bleach, where they introduce Ichigo into hollows. Like, they're not gonna really.
Was Ichigo an interesting character? Like, did he have flaws? Like, was he perfect?
Nah, he wasn't perfect at all. No, I would believe.
You say he's a deep character? Like, at least like.
Somewhat? No, I wouldn't say he's a deep character.
Like,
no.
Was he a good main character?
The thing is, I feel like with shonen anime, there's not really a deep character. Like, there's no.
I'd say, I don't know.
Deku,
I fuck with Deku heavy, bro. I'm willing to ride for that nigga, bro. Like, yo.
Why is Deku so deep of a character?
It's not. So it's just more of like, out of all the main characters, he's the only one that actually seems smart. Like, which I feel like is something that people just look over. Like, oh, he's just sad. Like,
he's smart.
Like, he's actually really smart for a kid and for like his age group and shit. Like, just the fact that, and he was training his mind before he was training his muscle, which is something that none of these other niggas actually do. They're actually, all of them are hard-headed, like, oh, I don't give a fuck, I don't need a trainer. Like, he's the only one who's really watches other niggas, like, and I feel like that's just something that people like look over. I feel like it's hard to have a smart main character and people to actually fuck with him. Like people fuck with him. Like I don't obviously not everybody fucks with Deku, but I just feel like that's a bonus that he has that not like I haven't seen in any other main character so far. Like well shonen, obviously.
Yeah.
But
the only character I can think of that can be close to being in depth is probably Naruto, basically. But
I feel like it's because of the length we've had with him. Like, you know, we've been with that nigga for a while. Like imagine if My Hero has been as long as Naruto, we don't know where he'd be at. Like you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're talking about Jujutsu. All right, so since you talk, you know, let me talk about it. So what's your definition of mid?
My definition of mid is that it's average.
So like it's not terrible, but it's not great, right? Yeah. So I personally feel like this show is mid. You know what I mean? Like I don't personally feel like I believe wholeheartedly that this show is mid.
But I don't think it gets I feel like you think it gets a lot of hype. I don't think it gets a lot of hype though.
Hey, I'm just talking about from people.
Demon Slayer is the thing that's getting hype.
People, I feel like this gets more hype than Demon Slayer. That's just me though. But the way people have recommended me this, I'm just like responding. Like you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you how I feel after watching it. So excluding the animation, everything I feel like about the show is average. Like the characters, the story, yeah. The music doesn't really matter, but the music too, because I feel like music is really important in anime, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like it even goes down to like the character design. Like some of the even the curses, they don't look too like crazy out there. Like you know what I mean? I just feel like they're average. Like they're not the craziest demon designs, but they're pretty solid. Like you know what I mean? Come down to the writing as well. Like I feel like I could break down some points that really back up my statement when I say like, and that validate the way I feel like after watching the show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So even though we did record this before, but I want to know what you think after me reading this sentence. Okay. A loner with a super strong demon trapped inside of him. People cheat him differently because of it. Some people want to protect him and some people want him dead. Joins a school and is now in a trio with an emo boy and a headstrong girl. And his master / teacher is a silver-haired badass with cool eyes. What does that remind you of?
Of Naruto, obviously Kakashi, and Naruto being the main character with the demon in him.
You know, it sounds like it's not as original as it comes out to be. You know, even if it's not original, it's not doing the best of it. Like if you're gonna copy something, at least make it better. You know what I mean? You're not even gonna make it better. Does that make sense? I'm not just saying that. Like you know. Okay. Mm-hmm. So with these two statements, which one do you think gets their point across more? With great power comes great responsibility, or you're a strong kid, so help others, even if it's only those closest to you. Just save the people you can.
Well, the first one, of course.
The first one. Great
power becomes. It's short and it's simple and it's clear.
I guess it's not like overdrawn. You know what I mean? That's that's how I felt about I think his name's Yuji, right?
Yeah.
Yuji? His grandfather. So like his reason, because he keeps on bringing it up in the show. So it's like his reasoning to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it feels like to the show. Like in the beginning, he's just a regular kid. He's just doing his thing, and then he finds out his grandpa's dying and shit. And then the line that his grandpa says to him motivates him throughout this whole show because he consistently looks back at it, right? I feel like that's a fair point. I feel like that goes into like himself. I feel like he's just like he's one of the most bland cookie cutter anime protagonists I've seen in a while. Like I feel like I obviously could be wrong, but I feel like the best protagonists are like underdogs, like somebody we could root for, like. When they're in a fight, we could be like, yo, I want this guy to win. Like, you know what I mean? Because I could kind of see myself in him. But obviously, you don't always have to do that. Like, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Goku, niggas wasn't looking at him like, oh, I want it. Like, he's just like me for real. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But still, I feel like he pulls it off. Not every character can. What's it called? I'm gonna share my screen for 2 seconds. Let me know. Look at these character designs. Just look at them, just a little bit. Like look at like the pieces, the patches, like you know what I mean. Like just look at it. You see gloves, like you gotta. You don't know what's in his pocket. You know what I mean. You don't know what's going on over there. You know what I mean. And then you look at this nigga.
The high water.
goofy shoes. Like,
mostly Deku has goofy shoes too, but
alright,
his character design is better.
It's still unique. Like if he shaded out all of those characters, you would know that's Deku and that's him. You would not know who the fuck that nigga is.
But it's going with the plot of the story because
that's fair.
They're going to school.
But I feel like that even adds on to more that the story isn't even there. Like regardless of how the characters look, I feel like okay, so we could say that's his UA outfit. Like you know how UA they have their outfits. Even then, like that still looks pleasing to the eyes. I'm just talking about my opinion right now. Like you could be like, no, that's just fire. Like I wish I could rock that.
It is a fire. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say
okay.
here.
Okay, nah, I'm just saying.
I don't think the uniform looks good, but it's like it's just a plain bland uniform. It's like
super plain and bland.
It kind of
no
is trying,
salt, right?
I think it's trying to show like that's what they would wear in Japan. You know what I mean? That's
so we're saying this is realistic,
huh?
We're saying this show's realistic.
I'm not saying that this show is realistic, but it's like it's not far off. Like it's like okay, so like this dude's wearing a Japanese uniform. Okay, so.
You know that. Hey,
I mean,
at least we can admit that it's mid. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst.
And you gotta take into consideration that when it comes to superheroes, one of their most important things to portray the character is their costume.
All right,
like, that's
that's fair. I mean, we can talk about Bleach. We can talk about any of the other ones, but we won't talk about them. Mm-hmm. All right, we won't.
And what Bleach is, they're wearing a kimono. Like, what's so spectacular about it?
I mean, it just. I don't know. Which one do you think it looks better?
Bleach, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But that's just
no. That's fair. That's a fair argument. They both look bland, but one pulls it off a little bit better. That's all I'm saying.
That's just because what they're wearing, though. It's not because
one's old, one's new.
If you put on a Japanese school uniform, it looks beat. Like it looks beat. It's supposed to look beat.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. You know, that's fine. But yeah, so I feel like Yuji doesn't really feel like a real character. In the first episode, I feel like this is a first where we find out the main character is already a god. Like, you know what I mean? Like, already, like, I feel like this is the first time we've ever seen like this nigga's goated at everything already. Like, the main character, that's crazy. Like, they have some balls to doing that. Like, I respect Mappa for doing that because like that's a first. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no fear. Like, he's just in it. Like, oh, there's a demon. What's up? Let's fight, nigga. Square up. That's some real shit. I respect it.
So about that, I was when he was. That was like when he was trying to save Junpei, that kid that liked movies, and so in that arc, you kind of see that Gojo even talks about it. Like, Yuji's not like your usual like a normal human being because like. Hold
on. The movie you talking about? The kid that turns bad, right?
Yeah, the kid that turns bad.
I'm talking about from the first episode. From the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any powers.
I'm
Straight
hip.
Boxing.
I'm hip.
Okay.
I'm hip. I'm hip with the state. But I was gonna say like June when he was fighting those curses to save Junpei basically and the jellyfish dude. He was basically saying that like Gojo was basically saying like he's not like a normal human being. Like any normal human being would probably hesitate to try to kill something or be fearful, but he doesn't show any signs of fear. And then there was another scene in that same season where Itadori was saying that like I don't want to kill human beings, the modified human beings, because if I kill human beings, I don't know, like, how would I be able to distinguish my friends, what I like about my friends, why I find my friends so special compared to someone else. You know what I mean? So you can kind of see that he's not like a normal human being. Like I don't think he's psychologically like all the way there as a person in general. And I think that's I don't know, like I don't even know how far, like when it's gonna show, but I think it's gonna touch on that sooner or later.
It's not like a regular nigga, like his dad's probably like a Super Saiyan or something.
His dad's probably something. I'm thinking, if I'm being honest, like this is not, the manga's not even like touching on it really, but I think he's partly a demon already.
So okay, that's cool, but I don't. This is a side rant though that I have. I have an issue with I don't know. Let me know if it's. I think it's the same with Bleach, right? His dad was a sorcerer too.
Yeah, it
like,
was like a...
Why the fuck is it always somebody's destiny to become something? Like, I feel like that's such a cop out for a character. Like sometimes it works, but I feel like sometimes it's just like, oh, like you could just kind of either see it coming or it kind of just it makes them as a person less. I don't know, just less worthy of what's going on. Like, if it was kind of like, like it's hard, obviously, I don't want to say to him, but somebody somehow gets the power and then somehow becomes great off of it versus it's my destiny to become great. Like, something like just something in that spectrum. I just feel like that.
You just want it to be like just a random...
I'd rather that, me personally. I love that it could just... That's one of the reasons why I love superheroes more than I love anime, because it's like it shows superheroes. It shows anybody could be a hero, bro. Anybody can become a hero. Anybody can be a savior. Like, and this is it's always like, oh, it's my destiny. My dad's one of them. I found out my great grandfather was actually a. It's just like, all right, bro. Like, yo, sure, whatever. That means everything was lining up for you to become that. Whatever. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna continue. But yeah, he could be just not like a regular person. That's fine.
And no regular person's just swallowing a finger out of nowhere. Like no one's. And two, it's a powerful spirit, and the powerful spirit is shocked that he's being controlled by a human being. You know what I mean?
His willpower and shit.
Yeah. So he's clearly not I believe he's clearly not a normal person. But that's you actually having to like sit down and actually really pay attention to what you're watching. You know what I mean? It's not like really explaining enough.
Yes. But you never know. It could be a little Easter eggs or whatever. But for instance, let's talk about his death. His death was a fucking joke. His death was a fucking joke. Yuji's. Yeah. It was a fucking like. Imagine how we could talk about the death of him, because I've only seen the death of a main character only once or twice. Like that, and like
Eren was really good.
Like let's take Eren's death and the weight of it and compare it to like the death of him, how I'm back, everybody's like, oh fuck you, bro. Like, I was just like, yo, this show is crazy, bro. This show is crazy. Like, how are we supposed to really care about this nigga? Like, literally, how are we supposed to care about him? I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, let's talk about the other half, Sukuna. I feel like unlike the Nine Tails, he takes away all the stakes in the show. By even like every enemy that pops up, if they even smell that nigga Sukuna, they're running. Like, yo, they know that nigga is not to play with. Like any nigga that except for obviously Gojo, like fucked him up. Well, not really fucked him up, but like he folded him a little bit. In the first couple episodes, right? That's how they got him. But yeah, I just feel like it ruins the conflict of the show. I don't really know. Like, I just want to know, like, was he that powerful before? Is he like there's just a lot of questions that I have for the show that I feel like it's just kind of like looked over, but maybe we'll get more in the future, but that's fine. I feel like the second he pops up breaks a lot of the momentum. Like I would never feel like he's really ever gonna like lose, like, you know what I mean? I never get that feeling. Like, of course, even with the Nine Tails, we still it's hard. I know I'm comparing it, but I just feel like me comparing it is my best way of showing why the way they're pulling it off here doesn't work compared to the way they pull off another show. Even though they're very different, you know what I mean? But yeah, it continues into like power scaling. like I know in most of the shows, most of the animes, you're supposed to just believe and try to explain everything they can, and like the rest you're just supposed to believe. Like, you know what I mean? They'll explain everything, but then the rest you're just supposed to like, yeah, that just happens in this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's some of the problems I have with like Hunter x Hunter, as in like what is the power ceiling? Like in Hunter, it goes from people fighting with like haikus and vacuums and shit to people be able to use Nen to simultaneously perceive the present and the future at the same time. You're just like, yo, where the fuck is this? Like, where is it? How do you, like, I don't know. For me, even, like, comparing it to, like, the X-Men, you could see, like, they have level grading just like in the show. Like, yo, this nigga's a level 8 grade, like, crazy level. Like, there's still, like, a ceiling. You know what I mean? There's still, like, a bottom. I feel like that's some of the issues I have with anime in general. I feel like they never have that because it's supposed to, like, forever increase. Does that make sense?
The thing, too, about superheroes, it's not really about like improving like your actual power ability. It's more so like improving your skill on how to use the power. Like you have the power already. It's just more so about like
sometimes. I know what you mean though. But yeah, even you said that's what you wanted.
That's what I want. Yeah, I like that, and I wish anime had more of that.
I agree.
Because sometimes I feel like when it comes to power levels, it takes a lot of characters out of the factor. Like just because Dragon Ball Z they have power levels like Piccolo, no one can be in the show no more. It's like that's kind of whack. Which is why I feel like they should focus more so on technique rather than just power levels.
I mean, we could even talk about in My Hero how. And when he was fighting Muscular, nigga said 1,000,000%. Like, where'd he get that at? Like, he just pulled out of his ass. Like, he just said 1,000,000% and knocked that nigga the fuck out.
But the power scaling in this show I would say it's kind of okay. It's like not bad. But what I noticed in the
mid, right? Okay, not bad. Mid.
I read all the manga and even the fucking creator. Even the creator says that it's a complex thing to understand, and he's even admitted to making a couple of mistakes in the manga. Because you know there's like how like when you read when you watch manga there's little breaks.
Yeah.
Like in mangas they have that, and he's mentioning how like he actually went to talk to a math teacher to explain his power scaling thing, and he was doing the wrong math, and he admitted that like somewhere around like volume like 7 to 8 around there. I was like, oh, so you made a mistake on your power scaling, and you're admitting it? I like that's kind of crazy. But
yeah. I get what you mean. But I'm just saying in general, this is why I'm saying it's mid. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's great. It's
mid. It has some plot problems.
Okay.
100%.
That's fair. Okay,
I do think it's overhyped, and I do also think Demon Slayer is overhyped.
I feel like that provides more than what I'm getting on this show. But that's to each his own.
I know, because the first episode tells you who he's facing. I feel like.
Yeah, it gives us a goal to fight. But that's fair. To each his own. They each have good parts and bad parts to each. But yeah. So like yeah. So when I see this show, I see people fighting with with fucking death balls and shit and kamehamehas to a bitch fighting with a hammer and nails. And a bitch putting on a 4-5 piece like fucking Glock 9. I'm just like I'm trying to really understand what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like she pulls out a Smith & Wesson. Like that's crazy. like I don't know who would it make sense instead of like I said, I don't know like why it would make sense for them to physical fight if they could just like let's say have an army of niggas with cursed energy AK-47s. Does that make sense? Because
it's kind of like cursed energy. Because in the show, Gojo even talked about cursed energy can be manipulated through weapons, and it can also be manipulated through your body. So everyone has a different way of using it.
But is it?
And then
can you choose to do it with your hands, or can you choose to do it with a weapon? Does that make sense?
Yeah, you could choose to do it with your hand. Anyone can use curse energy through like combat, but every sorcerer family has like a different style of fighting. So like
Cool.
so her, I guess I don't know why she uses the hammer. It didn't really touch.
Hammer and nails.
She's not even part of a Jujutsu family, but
That's just her thing. We're just supposed to believe it, like, you know what I mean?
you're just supposed to believe it. And I don't know if someone taught her the technique on how to use that power, because clearly someone had to taught her how to use her powers. You know what I mean? Because in the show it also talks about how the families, not in the show, in the manga it talks about how the families like teach like jujitsu techniques to the generation and so forth.
Okay. I think what's it called? Let's say it's the same with I just feel like we're just, of course they're gonna explain it eventually, but I just feel like in the show we're just supposed to believe it. The same with the nigga that can only say fucking tuna roll and shit. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's just some shit we're just supposed to believe. Like, why out of everything you're supposed to say that? Like, well, I just really wanted to know, but I don't think I truly don't really think we'll ever really understand, just because it's like it's like from their culture, you know what I mean? But just over here as a regular person, I just don't get it, bro. Like, is that supposed to be funny? Like,
oh, you talking about the movie?
The nigga with the voice, tuna fish. You know
oh,
what the fuck I'm talking about? Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just don't get that. Like, why the fuck?
Why is it like that?
Why is it only like rice bowls? Like, whatever the fuck he's talking about. But anything else he says, they like it's a move or some shit. They'll say it like that. Like, but
so I learned that salmon it means affirmative, and then something when he says kelp, sounds fish kelp, something like that means a negative. So every time when he says salmon, that means something. After all that, all the other shit just is complete gibberish. That's what the manga artist said. It's like he thought it was funny, but the only two words actually have meaning of what he says: affirmative and negative. But the reason why he does that is because his curse ability involves him saying words, and if he says the wrong thing, he can hurt someone really badly. He can kill someone. So if he said like explode and he was looking at you and he was talking to you, he can kill you.
So
that's why
but the main
his curse ability, it's like kind of like Cyclops. Cyclops has to wear like goggles all the time.
I wouldn't compare it to Cyclops. That's too specific. You saying tuna roll and sasami, salmon, like that's way too specific. Don't compare that to that's a vision. That's just seeing, bro. This nigga's literally saying specific. But you explained it. You explained it. The writer said because it was supposed to be funny. Like, you know? he's keeping like a certain, like he uses a certain dialogue because he can't speak, because if he speaks it brings danger to everyone around him. I understand it.
That's his curse. So there's certain curse techniques that have like that have faults. You know what I mean? So his fault, like I don't know if you've seen the movie, but that main character in the movie, his curse, when he couldn't control it, would protect him no matter what. So if you would do some stupid shit to him and try to swing on him, that person can possibly die because his curse. So he's like, his curse ability is that like a cursed spirit actually protects him.
Okay. I feel like
so
you're explaining it to me like I understand. That's his shit. Like everybody I get that. But I'm talking about his shit specifically. Just like I feel like the hammer and nail is stupid. I feel like that's dumb. Just like I feel like that's dumb, but we're just supposed to believe it. We're just supposed to believe whatever that is, it only works. It doesn't work when he's speaking. No, he can use regular words. He just chooses not to. And I understand why, like, it's not the belief. It's not. I see what you're saying. Is like he doesn't have to use that Arthur never says he has to use tuna fish or all that, like the whole like fucking fish diet type of vocabulary. And it's just in the show he's just been using that instead of anything else. That's fine, bro. That's cool. You know.
So what do you want him to do? Like, would you want him to like speak carefully? I'm just like, not speak at all.
I feel like that. Like there's a character in comics,
They,
Black Ball, he doesn't speak at all.
yeah,
So,
I feel like they should have. There's this other show I watched where some girl has like this translator thing and she could type into it. I feel like he could have had one of those.
Alright, so pretty much my final thoughts about it is like, in all reality, with the way they refer to Sukuna and like how OP he is, I feel like in the beginning they should have just killed Yuji and not let that nigga like. But like, you know what I mean? That's just how I felt. Like I felt like just the way they talk about him, I would have killed him. I would have killed that nigga. That would have been the end of that. But no, they said let's bring this nigga in. Let's teach him our secret techniques and shit. Slowly bring this nigga to eat more fingers eventually. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
I mean,
bro.
In the season, the only reason why the Jujutsu sorcerer in school wants to kill him. They want to kill him. The only reason why they can't kill him is because of Gojo. Gojo's the strongest one there. Gojo's the strongest character in the show. Gojo's not allowing it to happen. Gojo wants to use Yuji, and he thinks Yuji can be useful to the Jujutsu Kaisen world. You know what I mean? To like basically take out cursed spirits.
I just don't.
It doesn't touch.
It doesn't touch. More to that.
It doesn't touch on why he's allowing Yuji to stay around in the first season, of course. But later on, you can probably realize why he's allowing Yuji to be a sorcerer rather than just killing him. And Gojo is the strongest one there. Literally, he's the only one that's protecting Yuji. That's the only reason why Yuji's there, to be honest. He's that powerful of a sorcerer.
Yeah, shout out to that nigga, bro. But I don't know. Like I said, they pull it off more in Naruto. It makes way more sense. But yeah, overall, I feel like all my points, right? All the points that I set for, like, I'm not saying that you haven't corrected me or anything to taught me some new shit, but I just feel like all my points lead to this being an average anime. I think it really blew up just because of COVID. Everybody was home. Niggas was looking for new shit. Of course, that's fire. But this, I don't know, because you've obviously read it. But in this, this is me personally. This falls into the same book as God High School. To me personally, like,
because basically they put 64 chapters of manga in 24 episodes. And really that's not really a lot to begin with when you're reading it. So when you really look at it, what I could say is what's good about the show. I could say that the world building, like the concept of curses and the powers and the abilities that they can obtain, and I feel like the powers that they have is unique, and I feel like the world that they're in, the idea of the world is really good. But what's lagging is the character development and then the plot. And that's only season 1. And I understand that it's not really a good season in terms of plot and character development, but everything else is pretty solid, I would say.
Sure. I feel like another one of my last and final main issue about the show is just kind of like the longevity of it. Like, even of the plot, like obviously we're not gonna know what the end goal is, but I just feel like obviously I'm comparing it to other shows, but like it's easy for me to compare it just so you can truly understand where I stand on it. Like, just from what I've seen, like all the media that I've consumed, I just expect things to, if they're gonna do the same thing, to try to do it in a either unique or so, in a way that I haven't seen before, like not a better way, but just a different way. Like Naruto he wants to be the Hokage, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just something in that aspect. I feel like that would have made the show a little bit better. You know what I mean? I could be wrong, but I feel like just some type of, I don't know what Yuji's goal is, just to be the best or to save people or whatever the fuck that shitty ass reason is. What's it called? But yeah, this nigga, he's eaten 15 out of 20 fingers so far, right?
By the end of season 1?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I swear I googled this, but I'm gonna Google it again. How many fingers has Yuji eaten?
I think in the manga he's eating up to 15.
Okay, so alright, that's fair. From the manga, he's saying 15. There's 20 left. There's not 20 left, but there's 20 altogether, so there's 5 fingers left.
I don't know. We don't even know. What if the fingers are not the only thing he's supposed to be eating? What if he has to eat body?
He has to get the toes.
What if he has to get like body parts, like actual arms and limbs and shit like that?
They said the fingers, bro. They said that's it. That's the only thing they're worried about.
Only thing that exists.
That's all. That's how they could be like, yo, he gotta eat his cock. Like, I don't fucking know, bro. Like, just know from what I've seen, they've said, yo, the fingers. Once he gets all the fingers, it's up. He's free, and he's 8 and 15. How long can this show continue on? Are we gonna watch? Are we gonna care? Are you gonna care about Yuji if he doesn't have Sukuna in him?
I mean, yeah, I would care about Yuji even if he didn't have Sukuna. Sukuna's not the main thing. Like from what I read, Sukuna's not really that important. Sukuna just comes up at random times. It's like, yo,
you just like Yuji like as a character.
When he has opportunity, when Sukuna has opportunity to take over his body and do, because Sukuna has a different objective. You know what I mean? Like when he shows up, he's not doing shit to help Yuji. He's doing shit that benefits him.
I understand that, but Yuji would be a regular nigga. Yuji is important because of Sukuna. That's my whole point. Like,
but he's not using Sukuna's power.
I never said that, but he is important to the plot.
Yeah, because
of that. If he doesn't have that, he's just a regular nigga. You fuck with that. That's like
I would still fuck with him. I would still fuck him because bro, he only used Sukuna like
it's not the point. I'm talking about the plot. Him being the main character. If he wasn't the main character, he'd be irrelevant. Nobody would care about him. What are you talking about? That's a fallacy. That's a fallacy. If he wasn't the main character, he's not. He's bland. There's what's so lit about him out of all the other characters. If we were following the wolf nigga, we would be like, yo, this nigga Suji's just a bland ass nigga. Like nobody that's my point. Like. All right, let's compare it to something else. Like, I feel
why do you like Superman? Why is he such a good character to you? Why do you enjoy watching him?
Yeah, that's a bad comparison, but let's talk about it. Why not?
Yeah.
One, Superman is a way deeper character than that nigga. That's a fact. Are we gonna disagree or no?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, that's fair, right? Clearly, because he's been longer, he's more unique. People he's very visual. Like niggas know him. Like he actually saves people. Sure, Yuji saves people. Sure, why not? But there's a lot of the stories of it's about with anime. I feel like it's about like the powers and what that does to the character. But I feel like in comics it's about the character. So like we'll have random comics where Superman he finds out he's about to die, so on his last day he tries to save as many people as he can. You know what I mean? Like simple little things like that add more depth to a character versus a character going through a hard going to like a villain, learning a new ability, and then moving on to the next thing. Like, you know, does that make any sense, or am I just capping?
I see what you're saying, but maybe you are right because I use a bad example because there's mad history. There's mad history explaining about Superman. You know what I mean? There's mad history. There's
depth behind that character. Like, do we know the people he loves? We know.
All right, so the reason he does things. Pick a show. Generating Rex. So pick a show where a character just shows up in a TV series, because Superman has tons of history behind him.
That's you chose that though. Like don't
yeah. No. You're right. I did chose it. Pick a character that you think you can compare to Yuji and why you like it.
That's a bland character. That's a bland main protagonist. That's what you mean, right? That's what you want me to say. Because that's the only thing I can compare. I can't compare good protagonists.
Introduce someone that just appeared into the world that we're dealing with.
But that's every character. What are you talking about? Yeah, Superman just appeared into the world. We didn't what? You want me to bring up Ben 10? Like he just appeared into the world, right? That's what
Yeah, but so we didn't know anything about Superman until later on, right?
I mean, it was like they were explaining his backstory to the character, but he was still a character because of the.
So you're not gonna like the character. You're not gonna like a character when you first meet the character. You're not gonna think, "Oh,
that's fair. That's fair, yeah."
The character. So,
but I can say that about every character, though, right?
Yeah. So how could you expect that to happen in the course of 24 episodes of season 1?
I don't expect it. It's not hard to write good characters. You know that. It's not hard to write.
So why do you like? So why Invincible? Why do you like the main character Invincible?
Because he's not perfect. He's not a goat, bro. You know what I mean?
How is Yuji?
He's an underdog. He's an underdog. Yuji's not an underdog.
How is Yuji perfect?
Bro, he was goated before he. Yo, you stop. He was goated before he got. He beat the world record. Without even trying to the gym teacher. That was cap, or did I make that shit up?
Okay, so
do you want me to continue? Let me continue. I can say another reason.
So why is Mark not goated right off the bat?
He's an underdog. He's not. You're really comparing Mark to Yuji, bro. Like, are you serious? Or are you trolling me? Like, come on, like really. Let's really talk about it.
So let's use an anime show that you watch.
I feel like that's fair. Use anime. Do not use Mark.
Yeah. Because I'm trying. So pick an anime show that you've watched.
That I didn't fuck with the character at first.
Yeah. You just fucked with the character in general.
Oh, before at first, or you talking about like
at first? Like when you first met the character, you fucked with him.
I fucked with him.
Tell me why. Tell me why you fucked with him.
A lot of I could just overly say this. A lot of them were because they were underdogs. I know you want me to dive more. I could dive deep into that, seeing Naruto's backstory, like his pain, like I was like, yo, I fuck with this nigga, bro. He's just like, you know what I mean? Like,
watch mad episodes in order.
Okay. I'm just talking about the first episode, bro. Niggas did not fuck with him at all. Come on, you knew Naruto that first episode. That first episode, you knew that nigga. So
because he was an underdog.
I'm not saying that's the only way to make a character great, but I just feel like that's the characters that I relate to. Let me know any character that you just feel like was lit at. I don't know that.
But the thing is, he wasn't lit. Compared to other human beings. He was lit, but like in the Jujutsu world, he's not lit. Like he's not a goat. He gets fucked up all the time. He's not this fucking. He's fighting like low spirited curse. Does
he really get fucked up all the time? Let's talk about it.
Bro, during the tournament, he was fucking people up.
Bro, that brawler nigga fucked him up.
Hold on.
The tournament. Let's talk about it. The brawler nigga fucks him up. No. Before he fucks him up, he comes through. Wow, fucks up the brawler nigga. Like the only nigga we've seen. Hold on, let me talk, please.
Yeah, I'll let you talk.
Nah, he fucks him up. The only nigga we've seen fuck him up, and he was like, "Oh, I fuck with this nigga," and then he beats the dog shit out of him, right? To the point where I thought, "Is this nigga dead?" Like the way he be beating on niggas, I be like, "Yo, is this nigga dead, bro?" But no, let me just get up, wipe my nose. I'm Gucci. And then he was like, "You know what? What type of women you like?" And he was like, I love big booty bitches. And he was like, I fuck with you, bro. You like my little brother. They start having a dream about them chilling in school. They never chilled or whatever or some shit. Like, never chilled. And he was just like, nigga, you're not using curse energy, right? You're supposed to really use it like this. Blah, blah, blah. They start training or whatever. In the middle of a fucking tournament, they start training. And the Brolic bitch comes. They start fighting. He's not folding her, but he's hanging with her. And she's even saying, yo, I gotta pull out my other arm because he's hanging with me. And he doesn't even fully know how to use the curse energy, right? And then at the end, he unlocks it. He got it. He already got it. Wow, I got it. Knocked her out. This nigga's making me seem like I'm crazy, bro. I'm not crazy. This nigga is nice. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. He is nice. Stop trying to make him. He never really lost ever, except for when he died. Sukuna came back. What's up? You was never dead, nigga. Let's
still
make
lost,
a deal.
though. He still
all right,
lost.
sure. Let's. All right, yeah, he lost. But
Still
you know what I'm talking about. That's all. That's my point. You know what I'm talking about. And to compare him to Mark,
I just don't see.
like,
I just don't see like you're making it seem like he's like.
No, hold on. You're making it seem like I only watched one episode. I watched the whole season, the whole first season. It's not like I made this decision. Like it's not like I was looking for character development. I didn't get it. Did you get it?
So if a person's nice, right, bro?
I don't care. I don't care if he's just nice. I'm just bringing that up.
Like you just hate that fact that he's nice, bro. Like what the fuck?
I just think that they did it poorly, mid.
Like he's not OP. He's just
not.
nice.
Yeah. He's not too OP, but
he takes L's.
Sure.
And he takes L's.
All right. I'm not trying. That's not my main point, bro. Like a nigga could make a nigga nice, bro. Like who's a main character that was nice? Like I don't get like. It doesn't matter. Like you could be nice. It's the way you pull it off. It's the fact that you care about Yuji. That's what's up. It's just I'm talking about from an outsider perspective, from watching the show, right? You know a lot about him. Like I'm just talking about from what I've seen. I didn't.
I'm talking about what I've seen too. I'm talking about just from what I've seen too.
He's not a good character. He has no character.
I'm not arguing that he's like the best character, but
he's not a good one. He's one of the worst main characters I've ever seen.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yes. He's super bland and generic. If he didn't have the pink hair, he'd look like a regular nigga.
So, I just want to. The reason why I don't want to bring up anime shows because you don't watch anime shows like that.
Just give me the nigga from
how Superman?
Yo, Hunt. Just stop. Do not bring up comments.
How is he not bland? All Superman does, bro, is he just keeps the persona of being a good person, right? And his uniform is not even that crazy. All he's wearing is a fucking S on his chest, and he has a red cape and a blue suit. How is his suit so fire? Like, what's so unique about his suit? Like, you make Superman seem like his character is.
I'm not making anything. You're making that point, and the fact that I already challenged you to that, and you like, yeah, that's fact. He has a long history. Even his suit makes sense because his parents made it for him and all that deep shit. He's been around for years. They've explained all of that. Just because you haven't dived into hold on. Just because you haven't hold on.
The thing is, it's not fair though.
It's not you're bringing it up. I didn't bring it up.
The thing is not fair. Who could I compare?
All right, that's what I said. Let's talk about Hunter, the main character Hunter. Let's talk about like you know what I mean, Dragon Ball Z. Let's talk about just main shit that everybody's seen. Yu-Gi-Oh, like the main character. Like let's talk about it. Like why not? They're all better than him.
So do you think Goku's a great character?
He's better than him.
I'm trying to find someone that you think is great, not better than him.
Great? Deku's great.
Okay, so why?
I really like Mob, but he's not too much of a deep character. But that's just because.
So why do you like him?
The funny thing is, right? Oh, even Saitama's not even like an underdog. You know what I mean? But like when show I wanted to bring this up too because even Saitama's not an underdog, but the side characters are interesting. Carry the show. I don't think they pull that off right in this show either. We've even established that. Fair to say?
Mm-hmm. I would say the character development is lacking, yeah.
Okay, so even off that, so main character, Saitama, the show isn't even about him, right? So that's why he's not even a main focal point. Like without Suji, Yuji, whatever the fuck the name is, the show wouldn't really be happening. There would just be Jujutsu Kaisen niggas in the background really handling shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the show is based around him. That's my point. It's like I don't think it's terrible to be super OP. Like I don't think that's terrible. It's the way you pull it off. Like they don't pull it off right. You can't tell me they do. You really can't.
So in Mob Psycho, what makes the show unique is the characters around him too.
Yes, Reagan is one of the funniest niggas I've ever seen on a show. Reagan's fucking hilarious. You know Reagan's hilarious. A lot of the villains are really cool. I think even the animation of the show is fucking amazing. Like, so everything around the show is good. It's funny animation. There's character development. Like the side characters are great. It's like, what you want me to not like the show? The show is great. Like, I'm sorry.
All right, you got that. I guess. There's no way I can like.
I just want you to justify why Yuji's a great character, or even a good character. What makes him good? Because we follow him. Like, where's the development? Like, has he changed from the beginning to now? Like, what, like, you know what I mean? Like, what? I'm trying to figure out what makes him so great. Like, not great, but like, what makes him worth fighting for? He's a terrible protagonist, honestly.
But why do you say he's terrible though?
I feel like I've explained myself, but I'll continue explaining myself.
I feel like you're saying like he's terrible in a way like he's like he's not important of a character in the show.
I mean, other than having Sukuna, he's not. Fair to say.
But that's I don't know.
Maybe I could be wrong.
I mean, that's
like,
true.
Could Naruto be as important if he didn't have the nine tails? Like if he was just a regular ninja?
I don't think so. I don't think he would be as important as he is now.
It's just like it's little things like that. It's just like, hey, I could be wrong, but
that's part of the story though. Like I don't get it. Like if you need Sukuna to be in the story. The story.
I'm just talking about the way they pulled it off. Am I wrong for saying the execution, how they did it? I didn't think it was good. I don't think the execution of this character. I don't think it's good. And
so you think another thing. So you think when a character has like, let's say like something that's given to him, which is what makes him important, makes him a bad character?
No. The character. It's himself.
So like
that person.
I know you hate when I compare it to the non-anime shows. So like if Ben 10 didn't have the army tricks, you would not fuck with his character? Like he's not
At first, no. But he actually grew as a character. There's actually depth in that character versus this nigga. You wanted to compare the shows. Let's compare it. The first season of Ben 10, he has way more growth than this nigga, and that's a fact. We can watch the show. We can actually debate it. I'm down. Let's go. Yeah. I've rewatched the show too. Let's talk about it.
I haven't watched Ben 10 in years.
All right, I'm just saying. Let's. Really
I'm just trying to understand what.
Just no. The whatever it is, no. Like Sukuna's cool. Like that's fine. Like having the demon in you, that's fine. I'm talking about Yuri, whatever. What's his name? Yuji. I'm talking about him. He as a character.
Bro, okay. You right. You got this one. I understand what you're saying, bro. Like I don't think the thing is, I'm caught in the concept of like you saying the show is bad, not necessarily like Yuji. I know you say you don't like Yuji.
Yeah.
I don't think the show's a bad show. Like.
I think it starts with him, right? Because we follow him, right? So not every show. There's shows that I like the show, but I don't like the main character. Like you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like it starts with him, like with everything being everything in the beginning was like okay, like was all right. I'm waiting for the build up. The side characters are all right. The animation is fire. The power scaling is okay. All right. Hammer nails, Smith and Wesson. That's cool. All right. And then like Goju, like all right, like yeah, he's cool. Like, but he's cool because the show makes him cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not cool like just a cool character. Niggas fuck with him. But he's a cool character because the show is like, yo, this nigga's different. You gotta watch out for him. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, that's fine. Like when what's his name? Kakashi first appeared, he was fire, but he still like when he fought Zabuza, right? He still kind of lost. Like, you know what I mean? He was that shows like stakes in a character. Like, yo, they're fighting somebody serious. Like, they gotta watch out for this nigga. He even folded the boss, nigga. And still, niggas still think Kakashi's a fire character. He's still fire. Like, you know what I mean? There's levels to that shit. Like, not every, like, you don't have to be like, yo, this nigga can't be touched for him to be great. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, but you're comparing Kakashi, who's a Jonin ninja.
They're very close. Goju and Kakashi, do not stop. They're the same character.
But you're not even looking.
Okay.
Finish. You're comparing a Jonin ninja, right, to Hokage in that world.
So Goju's a Hokage.
Basically, like you're comparing the strongest character to not one of even the strongest characters in the show, and it's Naruto.
Okay, we can talk about the Hokage. Didn't he die? Oh shit.
Yeah. Hokage died, but that's when he was fighting like a formidable foe. You know what I mean? That's
sure.
foe that was taking the Hokage level.
Right.
That's fair. Everybody that Gojo fought.
He hasn't even been on his level, right? He hasn't even really tried.
Yeah, he hasn't really.
And so
some of the sorcerers could touch the niggas that he's been fighting. He hasn't fought anyone that's difficult to fight yet.
Yeah. Word. That's lit. Honestly, that makes me fuck with him even more.
Yo, I hate it.
What do you want from me, bro? You want me to be like, yo, I like it? No, I don't. I think he looks. He's like a pretty girl. He looks real nice. Like he looks real pretty. I like his eyes and shit. But there's not that much deep underneath that, unless of course they're gonna dive deep into that in the manga. But from what I've seen, it's just like, yo, niggas are even comparing this nigga to Kakashi. Like that's crazy. Like,
they say that what's sad. They say that's what makes the show appealing too.
Yeah.
Is that Megumi, you can relate him to Sasuke, and then kind of relate him to Kakashi. They say like Naruto, like the Naruto like interest kind of.
Imagine if Yuji was even half of Naruto, like even half of the depth that Naruto has, and I could say Naruto doesn't really have that much depth. But
the thing is, though, I don't want us to get trapped in this.
That's fair, yeah, comparing. But I just wanted to. Oh, okay.
I was gonna say I don't want us to get trapped in this thing that we always want to see the character be like the underdog at all times.
That's fair. I feel like that's a fair point. I can't say all my favorite shows have characters being underdogs, but I just feel like if they're going to be like a super OP character, they at least pull it off very like well, or do it uniquely or differently that I haven't seen before. And I don't feel like they did that. I just don't think I don't think they really tried to make this nigga like super deep. They really just did a blank canvas. Super strong, not hard-headed. Nah, too many of them are hard-headed. Let's make them like pretty calm. Yeah, okay, calm. Okay, like
I think he's funny. Alright,
that's fair. Like I can't.
I think Toto's funny as well. I know you don't find. I know you don't find that humor.
Comedy is subjective, so I can't.
I find it funny.
But
that's one of the.
You think the show is overall funny?
I think it's funny, yeah, and I think it can be dark at times at the same time.
I think they should dive more deep into the dark, but that's just me. I could be wrong. But yeah, overall, I'm not saying the show is great. I'm not saying the show is.
I'm not saying it's great either.
I think
it is mid. I think
okay.
It's mid. I do think it is.
I
never said it was not mid.
Okay, it could be great, right?
Yeah.
But right now, from what I've seen, the season 1, I think this show is mid, and I feel like everything I've said proved my point valid. Yes,
but the only reason why I think it's mid is because of the character development.
Mm-hmm.
And then not knowing enough about the plot yet.
So we could both say that the animation carries this show to a degree. Like the way they fight and shit is, it's real slick and cool and shit. But I just want more. I want some depth. I want some, this nigga might die. I just want, I don't know if I'm like.
I mean, I got that vibe though. I got that vibe that Megumi was gonna die at one point.
Who was that?
The guy who can do the summon the wolves.
When did you think he was gonna die?
Bro, during the tournament when the leaf dude, I forgot it. I can't believe I forgot the dude's name. The demon, the cursed demon that arrived at the tournament. I thought like someone's gonna die in that scene when they were having that fight with him. I don't think he got that far though. I don't think we got that far.
I've watched the first season, so if it's in the first season.
Yeah. So then you must have seen it. Remember when the panda and all the students were fighting this curse demon during the tournament?
Yeah.
And then they blocked Gojo out of the barrier.
Yeah.
I thought someone was gonna die during that fight. I also thought
you really did?
Yeah. Why wouldn't someone die? It
Wow.
doesn't have to be Yuji. Someone could have died.
That's
And then
interesting.
that fight against Nanami and Mihito and then Yuji, that was dangerous. That was a dangerous fight, bro. They almost like Nanami almost like looked like he was about to get folded. Yuji definitely looked like he was gonna get folded, but they ain't gonna kill off the main character. You know that they never do that in shows ever, really, in the beginning. So it's like, but like it did show that he could get fucked up and die. So there were risks. Sukuna did show up at the end to save the dude, but like he had a condition. He's like, "Yo, if you don't do this, then I won't bring back your heart." So he had to make a deal in order to get that heart back. But like, at the end of the day, Sukuna did save him. So there is risk to the show. It's just not
Stakes. There's difference between risk and stakes, right?
There's that was stakes. Yeah,
Oh, it
what's
was
the difference
stakes.
between risk and stakes?
I don't like you were saying risks. I was like, the show can go there, but the stakes is like believability, like heaviness to the like. Was there stakes in Dragon Ball Superhero?
Yeah, there was. Would you
Okay,
say there's not? The risk was that
I mean the cell situation,
cell
sure,
match, yeah.
but everything else, no. Broly, was there risk in that? I mean, not risk, stakes.
Broly, no, because they were on a whole different planet and they were fighting this dude. Broly, like, were they on a whole different planet or
Yeah,
did they come to Earth?
a whole different planet.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, there's no real stakes. Nah.
But what I mean by stakes, I just mean okay, so stakes. Right? I feel like a good comparison I can have. So this is another shonen trope of tournaments and then villains attacking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you? I would say this. When I say stakes, I mean like the My Hero one. Like the niggas could have been tooken. Niggas like they was mad villains. Like without All Might, like they were losing that fight. That's a fact. And the second one, niggas actually did get taken and shit. What's it called? Naruto. Stakes. I think once the snake nigga popped up, the stakes started getting serious because they were building up to something crazy. Um,
And when you talk about stakes, you talk about like what they're trying to protect and what's like what they're trying to prevent from happening, right?
kind of like I feel like so stakes in a like okay. How can I like explain it? Stakes. Let me look up the actual definition of stakes before I Okay. So stakes. When I Google it, it says things that will happen in a film or a story that can or will be very impactful to the characters or the world that they live in. Like that, you actually like you as a person living outside of it are actually like like at the edge of your seat, biting your nails type thing. I feel like that's the closest I can mean to stakes. Like, damn, like this shit is serious. Like, even if I'm not in this world, like I'm rooting for niggas to win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's kind of like the closest thing I could do with stakes. But I just feel like within the show, like the show can make the stakes, but it's whether you, as you as a person, you actually believe what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like what's it like? Like what's it called? In the like you said in Dragon Ball Battle of Gods, I personally didn't get any stakes because they did make Beerus serious, but not like as a villain. If we were to say he was a villain of that film, he wasn't a great villain like compared to other like Cooler, Frieza, like the great villains. So the stakes I feel like weren't there. Like has like this could impact the planet. Like of course, we could reverse time, but we don't know that because it's the first film. But yeah, like you're like this shit's serious. Like the stakes in like it's hard. Obviously, I shouldn't say that, but like when they were on planet Namek and she was about to explode and they had to get out of there, like count down to the end, like yo, we have to get out of here. Like you're like, yo, I really want these niggas to make it out. Like, you know what I mean? Like you feel it. Like you feel like this shit's serious. Like this shit can affect people. Like, you know what I mean? Just shit like that. But that's fine. I guess if you got that from the show, that's fine. You know?
Nah, I don't think I got that from the show, the stakes. Because in terms of the first season, because given that the fact of Yuji dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I know a little bit more information. That's the problem too. But on the off chance, like he dies, right? That would actually help. That would probably help the universe, right? In that case, because Sukuna won't return.
Yeah.
There'll be no way for him to return. So that wouldn't be like, I wouldn't say there would be no stakes. But him being in the show kind of, I wouldn't say there's stakes when it comes to, if he dies, he dies. And they just met him too during the first, like that first season is like, it's not even like a year or two, you know what I mean? It's like, what, a couple of months, like a month?
Like they tried to, like when he died, they were like, damn, Yuji's dead. Like,
yeah, but he comes
you know
out,
what I mean? He comes
a
back
couple
like,
weeks later, yeah. So it's like, they're not really like you can even tell like the way how they communicate, they're not really like top tier boys, or they're not always together on every mission. You know what I mean? Like when you look at traditional anime, they like to keep the like 3 or like the 4, like the group together more often than not. And in this show, I feel like they kind of like, they're willing to separate Yuji and him to go on a mission with another character from a different class, or another character, like, or a teacher, you know what I mean? And they don't really have that unity yet, I would say, as a group. So that's why I wouldn't say there's any stakes of him dying. Like when he came back, they like, sure, they were sad a little bit. They were like, oh, he came back though. Like they didn't really give a fuck about him. And Megumi even mentions it too, that like, we're Jujutsu sorcerers, we're not superheroes, we're not heroes. And I don't know if he's meaning that he's willing to do bad things or not, but like he's making it seem that like not all Jujutsu sorcerers are good people in general.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that, you know? I feel like we got a good combo on that, you know? But, hey, you know, I don't want people to hate me, you know? I mean, you know, it's fine, like...
Nah, but
you know,
you brought up some good questionable questions, that why the anime community like really like messes with the show so much. Like,
I just
like
try to look at things outside.
Some people really like feel like Yuji's like a good character, like out there. You know what I mean? Some people would actually think that, but like,
and like you said, I don't even like Demon Slayer's on that tier, but I feel like they do other things that are better, that make me actually like that show. Like even though the main character, he's not like the greatest main character, he still has like something about him that make me like appreciate like him being there. Like how he's always just like a nice person or something, just something like that. Like just something that.
And
makes
he's
me
not
root
OP.
for the character.
Not OP.
Yeah. Like when he's fighting, I'm like, yo, these niggas could kill
me,
bro. Like
yeah.
I feel it. Like you know what I mean? Like
I ain't gonna lie, the stakes in that one is kind of high. You feel like one of them's gonna die every fight.
Like I actually feel that shit. So, but you know, to each his own. But yeah, let him end it.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring
Status.
elegance and prestige. Their brilliance makes